Hi everyone. So today let's talk about Config 2025 and more importantly, what it means for the future of design. Now, every conference has big announcements, but Config 2025 felt very different to me at least. It wasn't just about new features. It was a signal about how rapidly design is changing, how designers and developers are collaborating differently, and how AI is reshaping our roles. So first, let's take a quick recap of what Figma launched. We've got Figma Sites for seamless web publishing directly from your designs. Very cool. We've got Figma Make, an AI-powered prototyping tool integrated right into your canvas, something I'm particularly excited to try out. There's code layers where you can actually turn designs instantly into editable React components. Very useful for our own workflows. And an integrated CMS. And as a power user of Webflow, it looks kind of akin to that, but in Figma. The draw mode is all about enhancing the intuitive vector drawing. This is a feature that really needed a desperate rework, and I'll probably stop using Illustrator overnight. Finally, there is Buzz, which is kind of like a Figma Canva hybrid, where you can import data, build templates, and it's probably the thing I'm most excited about from a marketing perspective because we've got a lot of different roles here at Tennis, and it's going to allow us designers to create templates for other team members to use. So yeah, very excited about Buzz. I don't know if it's going to kill Canva yet, but let's wait and see. So these are just incremental updates. They signify a deeper industry shift though. The line between design and development is dissolving more and more. Like, this is happening real fast. At Config, around 70% of the vendors pitched some form of design to code without developers. The message was really clear there: design to code without developers. I'm pragmatic enough to know that these live demos are always showing the happy path. The real world isn't that frictionless. It's a lot complicated to get things into production, but it is clear that the tools are getting closer and closer, and designers are increasingly becoming capable of shipping production-ready work independently. But dev is not going away overnight. But is it getting more commoditized? Yeah. So this isn't entirely new. Think about the rise of the design technologist role, which is a really fascinating role in our field. It's a hybrid role where you can combine someone who knows the UX, knows the technology, and they're able to work across both streams and talk to those different stakeholders in different ways. It's a really powerful role, and we're just starting to see this evolve much quicker. But now we're also starting to see this cross-functional approach spread into different roles like marketing, sales, operations, and it's all driven by powerful AI-enabled tools because it's lowering the bar for people to do this work, prototype, test new ideas. So speaking of AI, let's talk about the big theme under the surface at Config 2025, artificial intelligence. It's becoming somewhat fundamental to design. So the release of Figma's Make isn't just another AI feature, it's reshaping our workflows, turning designers into orchestrators of automated and predictive experiences. I saw a recent release from Fiverr's CEO, and he summed it up perfectly, saying that with AI, easy tasks will disappear, hard tasks will become the new easy, and the impossible tasks become the new hard, because it's just going to lower the barrier for many people in various roles to be able to take on what was once hard, those design roles, those development roles. And it might not be production ready. We're still going to need a full team to take things to the finish line. But the scale of that team, the knowledge of that team, all of that is going to change. So this isn't doom and gloom. It's just the reality. It's what we're seeing. And we're seeing this rise of cross-functional creatives who blend design ops, tech, and AI fluency. These versatile professionals aren't bound by one tool or skill. Their value is adaptability and momentum. So let's talk about the Figma suite debate. Figma's move from 4 to 8 products has sparked a bit of a debate. Critics worry about Figma becoming more like Adobe, too bloated, trying to do too much, all these like half-baked products and apps. And while that might be a legitimate concern, many, and myself included, see it a bit differently. Figma is evolving into a flexible, enterprise-ready creative suite with collaborative workflows, and the pricing is quite elegant for how it works within our organization. Not everything's going to work for every team. For example, we tried Figma Slides when it first released and it didn't fit our needs. We ended up going with Canva because it fit our workflows, it fit our templating approach, and our roles and permissions across the organization. So that's okay. The strength here is in Figma's willingness to experiment, iterate, and evolve alongside its users. Another major takeaway from Config was the importance of data-driven design. Talks from Grace Walker at Spellbook and Becca Ramos drove this point home pretty clearly. Beautiful designs alone are not enough. They must perform. And Walker shared how a visually stunning redesign initially flopped because it didn't deliver results, which is kind of critical in this profession these days. It's becoming very important. Ramos highlighted that the data-driven approach to design isn't about compromising creativity, but it is about testing and learning and iterating rapidly. And I think that's where AI does have a role to play because it allows us to rapidly iterate. Sure, there's a human at the helm driving the process, but it will enable us to produce experiments and work at a speed that we just haven't been able to do manually when we're pushing pixels, reformatting layouts. At Tennis, this approach resonates deeply with us. We've long seen data-informed design as foundational, not just optional. So it's nice to hear that echoed throughout the Config conference. One reassuring theme at Config was the continued importance of process. Gabriel Valdivia nailed it when he spoke about designing with momentum at startups, focusing on tangible artifacts, early sharing, and clear communication. Process, not pixels, defines our value, and designers who can build robust, efficient processes and think operationally will thrive. Those resisting this shift, on the other hand, there might be some challenges there. Finally, let's highlight some powerful talks signaling where design is headed. These are, more at the edge of design and technology, but they're some of my favorite talks because there's some nuances here. So Madeline Gannon showed us how robots can be expressive collaborators. This reminds us that automation can be playful. There was Augmental's Mouthpad, which demonstrated genuinely inclusive and transformative design. Andy Welfie emphasized language as core interface, and I love this talk. It's one of my favorite talks. He highlighted the power of words in design, and it's a really underserved area of the practice. It's gone through various identity changes, many different renamings of the role itself. Content strategist, architect, content architect, you name it, they've kind of been through it. But Welfie had some really fascinating things to say. I'd recommend that talk. Ricardo Vasquez reminded us that without performance, even the best UX fails. And we're big proponents of load times and nerding out over optimizations. It was nice to see this level of nuance discussed at Config. Not just design, but the technology behind it. The big message from Config is, I would say, design is no longer just part of the process. It is the process. It involves data. It involves AI automation, cross-functional collaboration, and rapid iteration. So what's next? Well, for our team at Tennis, it means doubling down on process, curiosity, and always exploring what's coming around the corner. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.